So, Nigeria is about to build the second largest refinery in Africa after the Dangote Refinery, which is currently the second largest refinery in the world. Now, don't forget that the Dangote Refinery is currently undergoing construction to expand its capacity from 650,000 barrels per day to 1,400 barrels per day to become the largest refinery in the world. Now, after this refinery is built in Ondo State, Nigeria, in addition to having the largest refinery in the world, after the Dangote Refinery, of course, is expanded, Nigeria will also have the second largest oil-producing refinery in Africa. Now, the second largest oil-producing refinery currently is in Algeria, but once this refinery is completed in Ondo State, Nigeria will also have the second largest refinery in Africa, thanks to a $50 billion investment secured by an international consortium known as Backbone International Nigeria Limited and Nefex Holdings. They will be handling the construction of this refinery. Now, the news coming from Business Insider reads, Nigeria secures $50 billion investment for Africa's second largest oil refinery. Energy Consortium secures $50 billion to build Africa's second largest refinery in Nigeria. An international energy consortium has secured a $50 billion investment to develop what is said to become Africa's second largest oil refinery in Ondo State, Nigeria, significantly strengthening the continent's refining capacity. Now, the refinery, with a capacity of 500,000 barrels per day, aims to bolster Nigeria's dominance in the continent's oil refining landscape, led by Backbone Infrastructure Nigeria Limited and Nefex Holdings Limited. The project represents significant private sector energy investments in West Africa. The refinery complements Nigeria's existing Dangote Refinery and will contribute to a transformative milestone in Africa's refining capacity. Nigeria is set to consolidate its dominance in Africa's oil refining landscape as an international energy consortium secured over $50 billion for the construction of a 500,000 barrels per day refinery at 1,471 hectare free trade zone in Ondo State. Before this project, Algeria's Skikda refinery, with a capacity of about 356,500 barrels per day, held the title for Africa's second largest refinery. Once the Ondo refinery becomes operational, it will dethrone Skikda to take that position, making Nigeria home to both the largest and second largest refining facilities on the continent. The mega project, spearheaded by Backbone Infrastructure Nigeria Limited (BINL) in partnership with Nefex Holdings Limited of Canada, represents one of the largest private sector energy investments in West Africa and is poised to become Africa's second largest refinery after the 650,000 barrels per day Dangote Refinery in Lagos. A new phase in Africa's refining story. According to a statement issued by the firm, the funding followed the execution of a memorandum of understanding between BINL and the Ondo State government through the Ondo State Investment Promotion Agency. BINL chairman Ken Nnamani led the firm's leadership team on a courtesy visit to Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, where discussions centered on the project's potential to create thousands of jobs and attract complementary investments in logistics, storage, and distribution. BINL's Vice President for Corporate Services, Wale Adekola, explained that Nefex Petroline, the project's partner, brings extensive expertise from operations spanning the Middle East, Europe, and North America. Nefex Petroline combines the advantages of a global network with deep local understanding, Adekola said, emphasizing the venture's long-term developmental impact, complementing Dangote and transforming Africa's fuel markets. The refinery is designed to supply refined petroleum products locally and across Africa, complementing Dangote's existing capacity and strengthening Nigeria's foothold as the continent's energy hub. Together, these two mega refineries could process more than 1.1 million barrels of crude per day, making a transformative milestone for a continent that has long struggled with limited refining capacity and a heavy reliance on imported fuels. This figure is projected to rise to nearly 2 million barrels per day once Dangote completes its planned expansion, which will boost the refinery's capacity from 650,000 barrels to 1.4 million barrels per day. This would cement Nigeria's status as a global refining powerhouse and a central force in Africa's energy transformation. For decades, African countries have exported crude oil while importing petrol, diesel, and aviation fuel at premium costs, a paradox that has drained foreign reserves and exposed economies to global price shocks. Projects like Dangote's and BIL's mark a strategic reversal of this pattern. By boosting local refining output, Africa is gradually moving toward energy self-sufficiency, aiming to supply its own markets and export refined products across the continent. So you have heard the news. And you might want to listen to Dangote when he said that by expanding his refinery from 650,000 barrels to 1.4 million barrels per day, that it will greatly reduce the scarcity of dollars in Nigeria, thereby leading to a very, very high, serious appreciation of the value of naira. That if you have dollars stashed out somewhere, especially a lot of it, you might want to go and change it now. That the value of dollar to naira is still very high, because that is about to change. That is what Dangote said at the announcement of the expansion of his refinery. The expansion of the capacity of his refinery, that if you have dollars stashed out somewhere, you should go and change it, because things are about to change greatly for the naira. The value of the naira is about to appreciate massively, and with this refinery, in addition to the Dangote Refinery, 500,000 barrels per day plus 1.4 million barrels, that's almost 2 million barrels per day, and that is going to meet almost, if not 70% capacity of Nigeria's requirement, because right now Nigeria is still importing up to 70%, almost 70% of her fuel requirement, of our fuel needs. But once Dangote expands the refinery, then plus this refinery, that should bring the number to about 70%. If you switch the table now, Nigeria will be producing about 70% of her fuel, while only importing about 30%. That will greatly reduce the scarcity of the dollars, and it will boost our foreign reserve and cause the naira to appreciate massively. So I don't know whether or not Dangote saw this coming, saw the construction of another refinery coming when he made this announcement. And trust me, if this refinery is constructed, it's only a matter of time that another company, because they have seen the benefits the Dangote Refinery is enjoying. Now, if they construct this refinery and later another refinery is constructed, trust me, very soon Nigeria will stop importing fuel. Nigeria will stop importing fuel. It is only a matter of time. So what's happened with the telecom industry is about to happen in the oil industry, in the refining of crude oil in Nigeria. A lot is about to change massively, especially for the naira. So this is definitely good news. I hope this refinery sees the light of the day. I don't know how long it is going to take. The Dangote Refinery, if you check, it took a lot of time, and let's hope, of course, the refinery being operational doesn't take time like the Dangote Refinery did, where a lot of persons fought it. So hopefully, of course, this one they will not fight it, since we already have the Dangote Refinery running already. So if you are into the business of importing fuel, you might also want to look into other options, other businesses to invest in, because that business is about to crash. A lot is about to change in that regard. So kudos to this government for securing this deal for Nigeria, and of course, most importantly, to the Dangote Refinery, because they have obviously opened the way for the construction of large capacity refineries. The Dangote Refinery has opened that door already. That is what it has done for the construction for private companies to construct large oil refineries in Nigeria, and this will definitely change a lot. So let's hope that it happens.